I'm not gonna lie to you, Joe. I'm kind of retarded. I'm not gonna lie to you, Joe.
The main point of all this is we need to beat our kids.
A giant cock.
telling you.
I'm kind of gay.
I'm kind thinking's hard.
2, 1,
One.
and we're live.
And we're live.
Welcome to the Entertaining Stupid Podcast. It's Matty B hosting today, and with me I have...
Stefan?
Andrew L.
All right, guys. It's been a while since we all got together here.
I've been on like 3 of the last 4 podcasts because I'm trying to take this thing out from the inside.
See, the
Nice.
thing is, I haven't. So I gotta catch up.
Wait,
here.
Matt was supposed to be on 3 of the last 4 podcasts.
No one needs to know that.
Relevant here.
I'm going to be gone for a while, so that's why I tried to
Yeah.
tap in. Even though I'm not an official member, but I am squeezing my way in.
Well,
gonna say, you're
in
doing
the
a lot
WhatsApp.
more work.
You're in the WhatsApp, so you're probably a member now.
You're doing a lot more work than some of our core
You're
members.
part, of the, you're part of the Entertaining Stupid WhatsApp,
Ooh.
so you're definitely a member now.
Who are you going to throw under the bus?
I'm going to start with Dan.
Yeah. Dan, I got a little bit of dry cough.
I'm totally on.
I'm just
on
kidding.
board with
I'm
that.
kidding.
No,
I'm
man,
a piece of
being
shit.
at the hospital.
I'm just kidding. I don't blame him.
And I
And
totally
he's actually heroic because he has to deal with that crap all day.
Yeah. I was going to say, and that's where I totally
I wouldn't
get
call
it.
Dan a hero in any. I don't care what. Dan could save 5 kids from a burning building. I will not call him a hero.
You know what?
He'd be like, I just wanted to touch him.
You know what I could see Dan doing actually is setting fire to the building so he could save the 5 kids.
like staging it.
Yeah, he's just like, I had to save him.
I had to save him.
We have this videotape here, and it's showing that you started the fire.
So what's that Molotov cocktail in the back of your car? I was going to say, that I totally understand where the nurses getting extra like sick time comes from.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you're sick,
Oh.
you don't go somewhere where people are sick.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Also, man, it's like you're dealing with everyone too, like the families and all that stuff. But it's true, like you're dealing
No,
with.
I get it.
yeah.
I was trying to think of a comparison.
I'm
where
just
it's-
talking about Dan in general.
I know. I was trying to think of a comparison where it's like, if you're in jail, you don't send someone who goes to be a police officer in the jail who robs people
Yeah.
or beats people.
Yeah, it's not good. Okay, so you have some topics where you want to talk about?
God no.
Well, no.
Oh, well, then you said you want to bring up
No,
something.
he had some
No.
points on one of the topics that I
Okay,
suggested.
I'm trying to
so
rate
Stefan,
questions for
let's
him.
let's go on the topics then. What do you
Okay.
got? What do you got for us today?
Well, I know it's hopefully it's not too similar to cancel culture, but the just the way that thank you Jason.
Ooh.
Am I not really? It's not picking up my voice.
was
Oh,
gonna
Could you
That's
just touch
pretty
him a little
crazy.
more?
we're on the touchy train today.
Doing some audio
Uh,
adjusting here.
No, I wanted to talk about echo chambers, and I don't mean that kind of echo.
So
I don't mean in a cave.
define the echo chambers for everyone who's
So,
listening.
and okay, so basically when, especially through like social media, Facebook,
Yep.
especially when you like or something about your profile gives it away or the things that you comment on, basically then Facebook just keeps feeding you and feeding you and
Oh, yeah.
feeding you it, and then all you see is things that you agree with. And then you find other people who agree with you, no matter how batshit crazy it is, whether it be flat Earth or super right wing, super left wing, social justice, anti-social justice. It just seems like there's no fucking middle anymore, and I just want a middle ground again. That's all I want. So I'm going to the masses. Please. I know there's logical people out there. I know you're all out there. I would say make your voices heard. But I don't blame you for not, because that's why I don't say anything on there. Because
I'm a lurker. I just lurk.
I lurk.
Yeah, I don't.
I call you a creeper.
Yeah, I'm a creeper then.
You're a creeper.
I'm
I'm a creep. You ever heard that Lonely Island song? Do the creep.
Well,
No, I haven't.
you know, like
Oh,
the
Nicki Minaj is in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, they get people on that.
and the issue is too is like people manipulate data now, and they skew it for their own side. So it's like, hey, this looks great for this side, and you're like, we have the attention span of like a freaking hamster now. We're like, oh, it's like quick, like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, like and you don't even do any more fact checking. You
Yeah.
just believe it. You're like, oh, this guy said this, or this guy was on Joe
Or
Rogan.
no, it just confirmed you're
Yeah,
already.
exactly.
It
Yeah.
already just confirms what you already thought, and then you're like, oh, see, I knew it, and
Yeah.
it's so creepy because it feeds you. Like I even notice it, and I have to like give myself a shake where I'm like, I see what you're doing. I see what
Yeah.
you're doing, Facebook. Like I remember I liked I don't know if I liked it. I shouldn't even fucking like things because that's what happens. It was like the whole J.K. Rowling thing where they used the word like people who menstruate, and she's like, I'm pretty sure there's another word for that.
Yeah,
I can't. Yeah, women. That was
Okay.
it. So then,
nailed
then everyone went out after her with their pitchforks because they're like, you're transphobic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that's something. But then on my newsfeed, I'm not getting into that.
Yeah.
But on my newsfeed, it was like trans rights activists, one of the J.K. Rowling this, social justice this. I'm like, whoa, I see what you're fucking doing, you creepy Facebook bastards.
Well, the issue is that there's no regulation.
Yeah, and
And they've tried to, like, they're trying to, like, the Senate, at least in the States, from, like, see, they always question him every year. Like, he's got too much power.
There should be something that prevents that, like that algorithm that takes what you looked at and keeps feeding you it.
Well, and the issue is, too, like, Mark Zuckerberg could be getting paid from X company that you think's in Montana, but it's actually owned by a different country that's just planning their corporation through Montana.
Yeah.
So then he's like,
I like the way you
thinking,
say Montana.
but yeah, Montana.
They're not that side.
No, I know.
They're right below us.
Tony Montana.
In jail, they'd be our bitch.
But
They're right under us.
but you know what I mean, right? So like he just wants money. Like that's any kind
Yeah.
of corporation. It's all about advertising, money, and then the more clicks you get, the more money you get. So it's that's the issue.
I just want to see like family pictures and Monsieur Bizarre's memes. Do you guys have Monsieur Bizarre?
No.
He literally just puts puns up all day, and he's
beautiful.
like that shining light on Facebook where it's like, just
He's an ex high school teacher. Just
yeah, for
everyone
those
who
for
doesn't
those
know.
Mr.
for those
Blue.
not in high school listening
But
from our high school.
like
Sorry.
that's what I think. Like the issue is like there's no regulation, and then on top of that, like they just want to keep feeding you because they want you to keep seeing more and get more outraged, and then they want you
I
to.
know, and that's what I hate.
And then
That's what I'm outraged
and like
about.
you said, the middle ground. Then there's these conversations where they just attack each other and think they're both right when there's no chance to go in the middle, listen to what someone says, and take something away from them and understand their view a little
Yeah.
more, and then vice versa, right?
Yeah.
So that it's frustrating, I think, for everyone here at the table.
Yeah.
That it is frustrating because it's such BS.
It's like you know how it seemed like far right wing people were the silent majority before. Now it seems like logical center people were the silent are the silent majority now. Sorry, I lost my thought because I wasn't close enough to the mic. I gotta get used to this podcast.
But the issue is too, like the center's changing. Like at least in Canada, it's like before, like you would think liberal is like right in the middle.
I'm not talking about.
No, I know.
Yeah,
but
but center's not changing. Center is literally in the middle.
no, I know. But
Parties
like,
are
government.
changing.
Sorry, government
Yeah.
parties.
Yeah,
are
yeah,
changing.
yeah.
When you're like in my thought process, and we were all talked about this when we were working together. Like I would think ideally, like liberal is like perfect for me. It's like right
Yep.
in the middle.
I know.
In a political view.
You used
right?
to be for me, yeah.
And then now it's like way more left, and I'm like, well, I don't agree with all the stuff that you got on the left going on.
Yeah.
right? And then the NDP is way left.
Way,
Like,
way,
in
way
my-
left.
And
And
it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
they're like the Democratic Party of Canada. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And I mean, and you can get into that with political parties
Yeah.
all day, right? But I just mean in like
But
everyday
The
conversation.
issue
even.
is that like people go to the extreme now because the minorities aren't really heard as much, like especially when it comes to beliefs.
Yeah.
So it's like, like people in Montana are voting for. I'm going to say Montana again.
We just
Say
love
it's Montana.
Montana.
I'm just using this political elite. Like,
Okay,
Because we love
yeah.
the restaurant.
so let's just say like
alright.
land Saskatchewan. There's like 500 people there. Their votes don't really matter in the whole thing, right? But it's like if someone's promising land to Saskatchewan, we're gonna put a meal here. There's gonna be more jobs, and then the people around that community are gonna come in. That means the stores they're gonna go grocery shopping when they leave the mine at night. you
Yep.
know? It's gonna create a better economy for you. So you're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna vote for you.
Yep.
And then we're the big thing. It's like right now in Canada, like it feels like the West is a lot more excluded than the East, right?
Yeah.
But I understand too that like 80% of the population is in
Well,
the East.
and
That's the problem.
That's
right? Yeah.
that's part of it, right?
And-
that's what.
And that's the issue with the states because then that's why California has so many seats because California's got 30 million people.
Yeah,
40 million.
the state system's like not even close to proportional
No.
representation, which I'd say we're not perfect.
Yeah.
But Saskatchewan doesn't swing one way versus the
No,
other. If
no.
there's a
Yeah.
a 5-4, 6-5 split on the ridings.
Yeah.
Conservatives get liberal. Conservatives get 6, liberals get 5. That's your representation. In the States, with the 52
Yeah.
electoral votes, it's like if you get 27 electoral votes,
Yeah.
forget about the rest towards that 52. You're a blue state. Like, that is just batshit crazy to me.
Yeah.
And people say now that you can't be smug Canadians and be like, well, we're way better up here. I'm sorry. We are. Our country is in a burning dumpster fire right now. We've got our shit. We got our shit, but it's like, I'm sorry. I can be a little smug and be like, yeah, no, like they are having a hell of a time. They're having a hell of a time down there. It's like, yeah, we're actually a lot better off as far as politics is concerned. I think that's reasonable. That that's democracy, representing the people, right?
I got a question. This is kind of a crazy one. It's kind of a conspiracy Alex Jones shit here. But like, do you think that maybe like social media will be the downfall of North America? Like, do you think that's a possibility?
No.
Like, I think it's created.
I know, that's my
the initial thought.
Well, yeah. And I don't know if there's gonna be a downfall, but you know what I mean. Like, it's definitely hampered them in situations, and it's created more angst between people's beliefs.
It's just now you can hear the batshit crazies now. You couldn't hear them before.
But the crazy part is like, it's not even just that. It's like, but you're like, it could be Instagram. Like, you're looking at perfect people, like pretend they're perfect, right?
Yeah.
And then you're obsessed with that perfection, and then it creates all these people's. I can understand why mental health is at a whole time new high, because like you're depressed because you're not like that person, or you're anxious because you want everyone to like your photo, right? And it's like, I only got 50 likes.
Bump
from the likes. It's the dopamine from the social media stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's that part's scary. Like, I try to avoid it as much. It's still hard for me to avoid it. Like, I use stuff for news for the most part. Like, that's what I get my kickoff, is like reading stuff or sports stuff. But like, I can see like there's people obsessed with it and they're constantly on it, right?
And posting and getting the likes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it fizzles out somehow, or some sort of regulation comes in. Yeah. And like, I guess with Instagram, there's no regulation with wanting the perfect life.
Is, guess who owns Instagram?
Oh, Facebook.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note though, with the regulations you kind of keep talking about, is my question for you is, where's that fine line between the free speech versus regulation overall?
Yeah. I mean, as far as collecting your data and using algorithms to feed you shit. Yeah. If you like, I don't believe that people should be blocked from saying things and putting it out there. If you're an idiot that wants to spout to the world how much you hate another race, hey, great, now everyone knows you're an idiot. Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't even do that, but you shouldn't be.
You should have the right to be an idiot online.
Yeah, like just like how you have a right to be an idiot in real life.
You know what the other issue is too? Like, their terms of service are
let
insane.
me finish though. Sorry,
I was just gonna add to it. Like, the terms of service, that's what fucks you over.
Oh yeah,
because no one reads it.
It's a private company.
Yeah.
No, it's because it's a private company that they can do as they want, and you're using their service.
You're using their service
willingly.
Yeah. So if you don't like it, don't use it.
That's what I mean, and that's what I mean though too.
What my issue is, like I said, no matter what the terms and conditions are, you shouldn't be able to fucking feed that shit back to you. I guess maybe you should be allowed to. I don't know.
I understand where you're coming from. Right. The other side of that, a more wholesome side, I guess you could say in quotation marks, would be, say you're on Indigo, and I'll just use myself as an example. I'm on Indigo. I'm always looking at manga, and I'm looking up titles in manga, and I hate when there's a bunch of other books with similar titles that are mixed in there. Eventually, Indigo goes, we've kind of noticed a pattern in his searches. Let's tailor his searches so he just gets these type of books.
Yeah, I get that.
That's the more wholesome side to it.
But you could also just create a filter in which you just have manga.
You could.
And then you don't just always go to manga.
You know what, actually, maybe I could get, maybe that could be an option on Facebook. Is like,
you're gonna have the option.
I'd like to get a filter so that you don't. I don't want to see any. Oh man, I only want to see sunshine and puppies.
I like.
No,
I only want to see things I agree with,
dude.
Fuck everybody else.
I have things that I can follow.
I don't want to see things that I agree with. That's what I'm saying.
I follow fitness people on Facebook apparently or whatever. And I swear to God, they're like selling steroids. It's like, hey, click this ad. It's like steroids.
Oh, yeah.
It's a healthy inject. Like, when is injecting something healthy for you?
Yeah.
Like, especially when it's like this for your muscles.
I keep getting
it's steroids
at the start of all my YouTube videos. I keep getting guys about like working out and losing weight, and it's like, how does Facebook know I'm this fat? Like, do they see my Kuko's wing order every Saturday? Like, motherfuckers.
And you know what? That's the issue with YouTube is that YouTube manipulates everything and will just take everything down if they don't agree with it.
Yes.
That shit's fucked.
And it's like, hey, you're skewed to one version of it. You don't get the other side.
Yeah.
And that's the issue with YouTube, and that's why it's like, man,
and that's same with Twitter. Like, they take down people that they disagreed with. It was a similar one where they took down because a girl said like, no, a woman is always a woman, and they took her down. It's like, you don't agree. Twitter didn't agree with them because you guys are more social justice warriors further left, and you canceled her because you didn't agree with her opinion. It's like, you can't fucking do that.
No, sorry. If you need to get closer.
Oh man, was Jason signaling?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was just thinking myself because you were getting pretty far back.
Yeah, I know. I always feel like I'm so damn loud. That's why. Yeah,
I get you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say on that note, it's the idea of people brought up the whole you need to get both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that kind of? Because it's
What do you mean?
on one side, it's yes, you should get a viewpoint from both sides. Where it's okay, I want to know about say climate change. I want the people who are in favor of climate change and against climate change, so I can see where they're coming from, what facts they're bringing to the table, and what their plans are to deal with any eventualities. And you go, okay, this is reasonable, that's reasonable. Okay, I see where both sides are coming from. The other side of that is we need to get both sides of the argument. Okay, so we need a social justice warrior and a Nazi. On at the same time.
Yeah.
We need to hear both sides here. We need to figure out where both sides are coming from. And you go, well, I don't need to hear from a Nazi.
I don't need to hear from that. Yeah.
And I'm not talking Nazi in the internet sense. I'm talking the literal sense.
Yeah. Like white supremacists.
Like an actual we need to
like
kill
this guy is
every
KKK.
other race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where I think you have to level the playing field to common sense. Like I think at that
Who
point,
defines that?
Yeah.
well, yeah, but like okay, but like you're gonna disagree with like let's just use the gender topic as a good one, right?
I don't want to. I don't want to get in hot water.
We're
Let's use
scared.
another
I'm not trying
one.
to get in hot water though.
Let's use
but
What's a safe topic?
let's use climate change.
Let's
use
just not
climate
use it.
change.
Okay, fine.
Are you okay with that?
No, I think it's easy.
What do you want?
Because I don't even have to use humans. I could just use
Okay.
anything. Like I could use it as every other species. Pretty much everything is male and female. That's it, right?
Okay.
And it's just scientifically proven that there's male and female. They mate and they create something, right?
Yeah.
In most species, not every species. I'm not
What is that called? The ones that can like change their gender or asexual or
Yeah, there's-
Anyways,
yeah, but
continue.
I'm just trying to say
yeah.
that's like proven facts, right?
Yeah.
Just
No.
like when you have scientific evidence, you have photos from space from all these satellites showing the Earth is
The
round.
Earth is round. Yeah.
It's like it's a common, like it's a fact, like it's just a fact.
Yes.
That doesn't mean you can't identify as something else. Like that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm just trying to mean. Like it's a fact, and you
Well, there's-
can't argue with a fact.
You can't take you
Yeah.
can't take down a fact.
Exactly.
Where
It's
it's
a
like
fact.
I disagree with that fact. It's like, what?
Yeah, you can disagree with it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's a scientific fact. Like this is proven. It's like
Yeah.
globally, everyone agrees with it.
Yeah.
So it's a fact.
I think
at
that
point.
especially on that one, there's that different terminology where it's gender and sex. I think.
Or like even
Right?
like fire.
Yeah.
I think those
paper
are two.
paper burn like flame burns paper, right? It burns it. There's nothing else, but it guaranteed burns the paper.
Right.
Yeah. I
So
see
it's
what you
like,
mean.
you know
Like,
what I mean?
oh, they're hats.
Yeah.
Yes, there
Exactly.
are hats.
Yeah.
You can't disagree that
it
the
from something?
hat. It was John Oliver.
Okay.
He's like
That's
It's like I don't care about like actually it was climate change. It's like you don't have to believe in climate change. It's
Yeah.
like believing in hats. All you have to ask yourself is, are there hats? Yes, there are. Is there climate change? You can disagree on the type of hat, the different varying
Yeah.
climate change, but there is a hat.
because like people with climate change, that's why I didn't want to use climate change, because people will disagree with climate change and the fact like, oh, it's always been, evolution, this and that, and it's it has nothing to like. So that's why I was
No,
like,
that's-
no, it's
yeah.
got to be fact based, right?
Or more black and white.
Exactly.
A more
So
black
it's
and
like,
white.
Yeah.
You can light
A
like,
more
you
a more dick no dick.
you light up
Do
a
you
lighter.
think? Is there a dick?
Is there? Are there dicks?
All that dicks.
So it's like if to me it's like if you light up a lighter and you burn the paper, everyone sees it. They know that the paper's gonna burn.
Unless you're
So
a
if some
magician.
idiot says no, that's not burning, then you're just a fucking idiot. Fuck
Yeah.
you. Like that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. Like
Yeah.
you have to get rid of those people and say I don't care if you think that you're wrong.
What do you
Like,
mean?
it's-
What do you mean you have to get rid of those
No,
people?
okay, no.
No, I don't mean
Is there
like
some
that.
sort
Do you
of
mean like
camp?
do
No,
you mean
you,
like
you can't value that opinion because it's proven
But
and
you
everyone.
have to give them a platform to talk.
Well, yeah, sure, they're gonna have a platform to talk.
Then I think that's what we're saying, right? Like that's what
Yeah.
Facebook
You have to
does.
give every idiot the platform to talk, and we have to be the ones to
But you know what? If they're-
regulate how popular
you know
they
what?
are.
No.
You shouldn't regulate how popular
No,
they
no,
are.
I just mean as like with the upvote, downvote, how wide their speech gets heard.
So
Yeah.
That's the touchy spot with freedom of speech. It's touchy there because like you have
Well,
freedom
that
to-
I'm not. I don't even know. Yeah,
But,
I wasn't for regulating people's speech. I think that's bullshit.
But
You're talking.
Well, I'm
the
talking about like
data.
the data and the
Yeah.
ads that I agreed to. That it's like, yeah, you're right. I could just quit Facebook, but man, it's pretty greasy. I guess that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Is like,
Oh, yeah.
I know I agreed to it, but is that right that you get all
Yeah.
that data on me? Is that really
Yeah.
something that you can agree with on terms and conditions?
Mm-hmm.
And that's fair. It's like if it said you got to give me your firstborn child. It's like I know I agreed to it, but like, can you really fucking do that? I
Yeah.
guess that's
You know what the worst part is,
my
too?
best analogy.
Yeah.
They make it so unreasonable too because it's such a long terms
Oh.
of service that you need a freaking lawyer to read through it all for you
Yeah.
and then say like these are the key points. This is what you're agreeing to because no one's gonna. Everyone just clicks yes.
Yeah.
And then like yeah whatever. I want to use the platform.
Sorry.
But that's
As Stefan comes back
But
to
that's
the mic,
on you.
no.
Wait,
It is.
wait.
No,
Actually,
I
that brings up
understand.
my next point though. Is how much burden do you put on the consumer? And this was kind of my idea with echo chambers, but it can also relate to this. How much do you put on the consumer, and how much do you have to put on the industry?
Yeah.
Because the terms of services are exceedingly verbose and
Yeah.
just absolutely, like you said, you need
Mind-numbingly long, and
ridiculous
boring.
and completely set up to fuck you over when you're
They
reading
are
it.
set up
So
to fuck
you
you
need to
over.
be a lawyer to understand that. So at
Yeah.
that point, they can say, you as a consumer have to, and you go, do I have time to read the terms and services of every single thing I agree to on the internet, every website I use, and every app that I download? I don't have time for that. I literally don't.
Yeah. Every website, no, everything that you have an account on that you've given your email to,
Maybe in that case.
like you're downloading the app and you're giving them the information so that you
Right.
can spread your own information.
Right.
Sow your oats, perhaps.
Right.
Not the right use of that analogy.
And then I hate to do this, but I'll push that onto like say you go shopping and you start looking at ingredient lists on things you're buying,
Yeah.
on foods, and you start reading the ingredient list and you go, okay, sodium bicordylate. I don't know what that is. I'm not a chemist. Do I have to go and get a chemistry degree to understand this? And then you look
Fair
at
enough.
it and they go, some of them could just say various flavorings, and you go, well, you didn't even tell me what the fuck is on there to
Yeah.
let me make an informed choice.
That's
Yeah.
fuck,
And they
that's
hide,
a good point.
And they hide so much shit where it becomes, you look at, okay, I've read the ingredient list, and then you have to look at per serving size, and it goes, this could be the whole chocolate bar, or this could be a quarter of the chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's
And that's why I get those fat reduction ads. That's why.
But no,
the quarter of the
you're right.
chocolate bar.
it's the quarter.
Because
And I thought it was for the whole thing.
the distributor's not telling the whole truth either, right? They're hiding part of it too. That's,
and again, that becomes a regulation. The free market will always skirt as far as they can to get away with as
Yeah.
much as they can.
Yeah.
Because that gives you the edge.
Yeah,
Right.
they're just trying to sell their product at as much
And-
profit as possible.
And how do they get to that edge and what's their limits? Regulations.
The regulation is
Yeah.
the limit, because if it was free for all, we'd all be eating fucking the most terrible, awful things in the world.
Well, it also would be that
There'd be no health
it'd be wild. bro.
concerns, no health regulations. You're just like, oh yeah, we dug that out of the back of the barn.
Yeah.
But we put it in the chocolate bar
That's
anyways. It's fine.
50% sawdust.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
was cutting some lumber, so.
people argue we have to have the free market and allow companies to do as they want. And you go, no. Hang on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. And that's where I disagree. Yeah.
So
I don't
sorry,
know. You're on both sides of the fence.
I got a little bit far away from where it originated from here.
Devil's advocate rail? No, never.
Where did I start? Oh, on the consumer, the burden on the consumer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So
there
then,
should be some. Yeah. It's that.
Yeah.
It's striking that balance.
So that's where I agree with your limiting the access to data and how much they can fuck with us, because it goes, well, you just as a consumer have to know exactly everything that you're talking about all the time and every company that you're using. And you go, the company itself barely knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to
Yeah,
figure out
yeah.
what they're doing?
I'm in agreement.
Yeah. And kind of similar on that is the idea of, I can't remember, I saw it on the news recently. Some big company bought another big company, and it's all online shit. And so the first company got agreed terms and services from their consumers to say, yes, you can use my information, say, to know my address so you can send me those recipes or the food.
Yeah.
Say one of those. And then Google buys that and goes, oh, we have your address now. And you go,
Yeah.
I didn't want to give Google my address. I gave this
That's-
food company my
That's
address.
the
Yeah.
other issue. And the other issue is all
'Cause
these
they share it.
They're all monopolies though too, and they
Yeah.
just keep on consuming, and like that's where you're like, oh fuck, like this is what people
Well,
are talking about.
Did you guys read that or watch that Netflix documentary? It's the greatest, the big hack or the greatest hack.
No.
What was that
So-
one about?
So it was about what the fuck, Cambridge Analytica.
Oh.
So this company that based in the UK.
Yep.
They helped Brexit win, and they helped the Trump campaign win by doing exactly what I'm talking about, where they took your information, they basically Facebook sold them the data, and so this one guy sued them and said, like, hey, that's my data. I get to know what you stole. Like, by law, that's my data. And it took down the company. It's a whole documentary. But
That's awesome.
but that's what I'm talking about. It's like
yeah.
they just, like, Facebook shares your data of these people where they create a profile of you and they target you, and then they feed you echo chamber shit like crooked Hillary.
Yeah.
And then they put bars on her face, and they're like, or they feed you stuff so wildly on the other end that you go, I can't believe what assholes they are. Like,
Trump eats babies.
Yeah,
And you're like,
Trump-
oh, of course.
or vice versa. Like, this is just the left trying to trick me. Like, they feed you such outrageous left stuff, like social justice warrior stuff, where you go, I can't believe this SJW stuff, and then you end up on a podcast bitching about it, and it's like they kind of like spark you into really pushing you over the edge. And
And the crazy
fucked
part
up.
is too, because like it was 13 years ago, so we were. I can remember like when we got Facebook, it was like 2007, 2006.
yeah, we used to
roughly.
poke each other. I mean, we still do, just in different
But
ways.
you know what I mean? Like, but that's how simple it was back then. Where there was, I remember a Facebook where there was 0 ads. It was just everyone's posts, and that was pretty much it.
You can't make money that way, right?
I understand.
Yeah.
That. But that's what it was though, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it was meant to be like interactions like that.
Yep.
But then it became too big, right? And
Yep.
it got way too fast, and no one knew how to regulate it because it's something brand new that no one ever had to do before,
Yep.
right? And then that's the issue, is that it's like where do we create these regulations? And like they're on Zuckerberg all the time, like and everyone. There's a lot of people that don't trust Facebook, but guess what? They're still fucking on it.
And you're still on it,
You're
yeah.
still on it.
No, I know.
It's an addiction because you go boom.
I can sit here and bitch about it all day,
Yeah.
but I look at it for Monsieur Bizarre's puns.
Well, dude,
Oh,
I'm the only one
Leon.
for you look at it because our attention spans are so
Yeah,
short
that's
now.
right. You
too.
don't have Facebook.
Dude, I don't have any. Well, I don't have any social media except Reddit, where I fucking all the time.
But that's the issue. Like my attention span, and
Yeah.
I know it's been
Forgot.
trained now because of everything that's going on. It's so short. Like when it comes to stuff. Like that's why there's only 10-minute YouTube videos. It's like because
Yeah.
the YouTube videos you make the most money. No,
Yeah.
10 or more. Because
the
it's like
monetary
hey,
system.
because they're like hey, we want to make more money, and now they're shrinking it a bit more because they know everyone's attention span is only 5 minutes now compared to 10 minutes. Like that's my guilty thing is like I'll watch JRE clips when I should just listen to the whole podcast.
But
Then I get
yeah.
a clip of it, right? But I'm just like, it's simple, it's straight to the point. When on the topic, they'll have the caption, like, this is the caption of the topic. I'm like, that interests me, so I click on it instead of having to listen to the whole thing.
See, I listen to the clips, and then when I catch a clip
Yes.
that I find,
Then I listen to the whole thing.
Then I'm like, oh man,
No,
I
for
like
sure.
where this is going. What the hell is that guy's name?
For sure, and then I'll listen to it, but it gets you, because it's like,
Yeah.
hey, it's a short attention span thing, and then that's how everyone's getting trained now. Like it's hard to focus when like you're at home on just watching the whole movie just without the movie. You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go on my phone. Like I'm gonna Google this actor, see what he's up to lately, or this or that, because you have a short attention span compared to
Yeah,
what you used
it
to.
sucks.
Yeah,
It
And it's
fucking
all
sucks.
because
I
it's all
hate it.
because- it's all because of this. It really
Yeah.
is because of our phones, and
Yeah.
and it's part of us, and that's why everyone thinks that eventually we'll be in us and we'll be one with it, right? Because
the Bill Gates chip.
Bill Gates chip, yeah.
Oh, don't keep me
No,
started.
but I mean, it makes sense because we're so part of it now. It's like holy shit! Like what's next?
I'm glad that we had the chance to see it all happen. Like I didn't get a smartphone until 2012, until after high school.
Yep, me too.
Man, I feel bad for kids who had them from the age of like 8 or 10. I don't feel that bad for you, but like all your friends have these smartphones, and then your parents give you these fucking smartphones, and you're hooked from the start. Like giving. I can't imagine giving a fucking 13-year-old boy a cell phone. You know what he's fucking doing with that cell phone,
Dude,
like
yeah.
or that that
Yeah.
like that will just fuck you up in the head. Like
When-
thank
there's-
God we were older and it was like we weren't stuck to it.
Well, this is the thing is like we had the values of our parents, right? That were like they're all baby boomers, but like the values were like you have to go play with your friends, and they want you to socialize with people.
Yeah.
Then you go biking, like nowadays 13-year-olds they just all get together and play Fortnite. That's their socializing, but it's not together. Where we'd all go biking somewhere and then spend hours together.
Yeah.
And then play pretend stuff because we had imaginations, right? All the creativity's going away now because you don't have that creativity as much, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to play the devil's advocate.
Oh,
As-
well, okay, sorry. You can
as
play
Real
the
done.
creativity. You can still make
no,
video
no,
games.
no,
I get
I thought that's
but,
the only thing. But finish
but
your thing.
I think
first.
it's really important that you have socialization and you have these people that are willing to bond together where you don't.
let you finish.
Okay, yeah, but nowadays, like it's like you're more separate and you're more, maybe insecure about yourself and that. But you had good people around you too,
Yeah,
right?
it'll be interesting when and if we become parents, because we can we can talk
you
and
can
bitch
change,
about it all day,
but
but until
what the
we're
best part
raising
is?
kids, we don't fucking know.
The best part is our generation has the opportunity because we've lived both sides to do
That's
something about
that, and that was what I was saying. I was like, I'm happy we got to see it both. That was gonna be so
Yeah.
fizzy now that you dropped that.
Yeah.
I'm happy we got to experience it both, like
Yeah.
both sides of it, so that I think it gave you a better sense of like, hey, I really saw this develop into addiction where people are crossing the street on their phone and it's like that little white girl in Lululemons is gonna get killed. Like, she's dead.
And the difference is too, like you can have those things, like that you can do all that, but it's gotta be in moderation. Like that's the other thing. It's like it's so easy. Like, here, kid, play Fortnite for 4 hours so I don't have to deal with you.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
And
right?
I mean, like, that's what I mean. We can talk all day about
Yeah.
how we were raised and how you should raise kids. I
Yeah.
guess the point I'm making is like, we don't know until we have fucking kids and there's two babies crying and you give one of them a fucking iPad because you're tired. I'm saying
yeah.
I don't ever want to do that,
Yeah.
but I don't know until I'm on 2
Like,
hours
that's-
of sleep.
That's exactly it, and I don't blame them because it's an easy thing to distract.
We're
right?
talking out our ass. We're
Yeah.
28 and we don't know what the fuck we're
Yeah,
talking
we don't have
about.
kids.
I'm not yet.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
28
you go
next
to your
week.
point.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm gonna throw myself in this. We
Yeah.
sound exactly like people who go, our generation was better because we
And,
did this,
and that's what I don't want.
and we had this, and that's they've been. You can look back at ancient times. It's every single generation that's in the
Oh, for
exact
sure.
same
Baby
thing.
boomers were looked at as privileged, spoiled little brats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's every
What was the
generation.
one? You could look at Aristotle's where he goes, "Oh, the previous generation didn't know how to write with the chalk and fucking chisels or some shit."
Yeah.
He's just like, "These kids don't know what they're doing." And
For
you're
sure,
like,
and you have to adapt to change. I understand
Yeah.
that, and I've always said that. Like, you have to be willing to adapt, and I get that.
okay. And so if the world adapts to being on its smartphone 24/7, that's just what the world will become.
But I think there is a line where at what point you can't actually function in real life. Like,
Yeah.
that's bullshit.
Rail, I would say like I think what Stefan's trying to say, it's like, but it's got to, you still have to keep the things that make you human and like your humanity. Like,
Yeah.
you got to still have that normalization.
I understand.
Because that's what makes us different.
I understand where you're coming from, but I'm going to say the humanization is going to change. The world's going to change, cultures are going to change, and we just have to adapt with them.
So you think everyone will just like not go out and function together anymore?
If that's what the world turns into, then that's what it be.
I don't think it will though. I don't think we'll ever
Okay.
get to that.
Okay.
Like, that's my
It could.
opinion is that it won't get to that. Like,
Yeah.
we'll become more connected through technology, but I don't think you'll, first of all, because it's not good for you, you won't just shut into your house forever, get everything delivered
Yeah.
by Amazon Prime, never go outside, work from home completely, because your mental state will just deteriorate. You won't do well. So that's what I'm saying, is that you're still gonna need some skills. It's like how
Yes.
everyone has anxiety now. I'm anxious. I don't want to talk to people, so I look at my phone, and it's like, yeah, everyone's anxious in new situations. Like, welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
Like, nobody likes talking in front of a crowd. No one likes being in a room with people they don't know. Like, you still got to throw yourself into it, and it's easier for some. Like, I know I'm talking from my point of view. It's easier for some people compared to others, but it's things that everyone has to learn, because you can't go through
sure.
life unable to speak to someone, make eye contact. You're saying you think
that,
it might.
but
not.
I think we're getting to the point where you can live that life now. In the past, that was not possible. You didn't have Amazon Prime. You didn't have work from home. You didn't have all.
I
these
think
things.
I think what I'm saying is I think that's bad for you.
And I'm gonna say, when has the world ever done what's good for us?
Yeah,
We
so that's
all,
why.
right now we're living in terrible situations with terrible mental health, and we'll continue going towards a thing that give us the dopamine rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everything
Even
else,
if it means we're
everything else is
terrible.
pretty good though.
But I can also say this. Like,
I'd say life's pretty good.
I do agree with Stefan. Like, I think
Nowadays.
there's important skills you need to know.
I don't think those skills will go away. Is
No.
what I'm saying.
Like,
Okay.
I think that like you still need people that need to learn how to, like, it's like fishing. Like, it's a source of like finding food, or hunting. Like, there's gonna be people that still do that, because if something ever did happen and you don't have that technology available to you anymore, or like, anything. Well, no, but like,
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm
It
laughing
could
at
be
someone else.
like what's that fucking like bomb that's like turns off
Oh,
the
a new,
power.
oh, an EMP.
Yeah, EMP. Like, what if something like that happened? You still have to know how to do stuff, and if you have no idea how to do things, you're fucked.
But people don't have to know how to do that.
But
No.
they might have to find a way to find out like source of foods for themselves.
Okay.
and,
but
like,
no one's gonna
survive.
think. No one's thinking of worst case Ontario.
Exactly.
No, I know, I understand.
Does everyone have a survival kit in their house? No.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that.
I'm-
But like,
I understand where you're coming from.
For humanity to keep going. Right?
But
You're
could
saying
say
what's good and what should be
what
versus
should
reality.
be, what should
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
We can preach all day about reality.
But
Again-
no.
But I'm sorry about
no,
what
but-
should be.
Yeah.
Sorry, what should be? But I still think there's like to agree with Stefan. I think there's still going to be people that will do it though.
I agree.
Yeah.
With
That's
that.
the thing.
I agree that there's going to be people who do that,
yeah.
but it's going to become more special cases. It's going to become to the point where 90% of people are on the online only, and there's those people who love nature and go into the forest.
I don't think so because there are certain.
That's just my thought.
But there are certain. I guess my point is there are certain things that will never be replaced, like building, construction. Those will not be. It's not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon, but okay. How it depends on how future we're looking here.
Yeah,
For sure. But
exactly,
if you start
like-
getting into 3D printers with automated systems,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it's I can from home archaeologic. Holy Jesus!
You
I can
create
design
something. Just
I can design a house. I can do all the blueprinting online, reference with all the city councils, get my
Get it 3D
permits,
printed?
and then have a company come there or an automated drone go there with a 3D printer, 3D print it
Yeah,
all,
we're
and then
way
leave.
ahead.
I understand we're that's
And you
way
can do that with
future.
like doctors. Like you're going to the
I'm
robots.
going way future. I'm going way future.
But
Sorry,
and
maybe
that's
my
what I'm
fault.
saying. We're nowhere close to that. So
Yes.
for the next 100 years' sake,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm saying some things you will still need to deal with people,
Yeah.
and like it's you can't not be able to talk to somebody,
Yeah.
Yes.
The other thing I think is like too.
or if you can, but I think
almost
it sucks.
Oh, it sucks. That's what,
That's what
okay,
I'm.
That's,
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I guess that's my point. Is it sucks?
it's not healthy.
No, it's not healthy.
It's not healthy.
Yeah,
but the thing I think that's good about
we got way off echo
Going to-
chambers, by the way.
yeah, but like going in
This
the
is
future,
interesting.
right? Like just keep the future thing going on. The good things that come out of it is that things become more accepting over time. Like so, like
Yes.
if you think about like gay marriage where it is now compared to where it was even 15 years ago,
yeah.
and like mental health, right? Like no one really,
Yeah, no one
everyone was
talked about it.
afraid to speak about it, even if they were going through it, right? So these things come more accepting over time. So there's positives to it too, right?
Oh, definitely. There's
Yeah.
always good and bad.
But it's gonna happen eventually, like that way down the line.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe that way down the line's only 100 years from now. It just depends how
Depends,
advanced.
it depends when we become one with the machine and like paradigm.
Take me to
I'm
the
a
Matrix.
paradigm.
Isn't that crazy? Like people predicted this. Like I think there's people that predicted like one would become one with the machine eventually and stuff like that. And
Yeah. I wonder if that's a matter of if you release 100 books, one of them will be right kind of thing. Where it says
Yeah.
if 1,000 people come up with an idea, you'll find the one crazy guy who came up with the weird batshit crazy
or
one.
like cold reading where you just like pick some super vague things. I guess
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
opposite of that. That's like vagueness versus a
You're right.
million specific things. One of those a million specific predictions is going to be right.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that guy got it.
Yeah, you look in the past and you go, wow, this ancient guy in the 16 BC came up with this idea, and you go, yeah, but everyone thought he was a loon back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, that was part of a million different
the crazy
opinions.
part is though,
I
like
wonder.
I do believe in that. Like history's always doomed to repeat itself. Like there's always something that will
Yeah.
come up, and you're like, fuck, it's the same thing, but just a
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
different era, right? Like I don't know. I'm not gonna go into it. I was gonna say something about China.
Okay.
Freaks me
Oh.
out.
I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
gonna
I'm
say,
scared about it.
I don't want to be that person that goes, our generation was the best, and we
I
did
don't
things
either.
the best.
We're
I
not.
totally
and
agree with you.
blah, blah, blah.
Dude, I don't think we're the best. Like I
No.
never said that. I never meant
Yeah.
that.
All
I
I-
think that
yeah.
there's great values from learning
Yeah.
from our past
Yeah.
and that we've gotten from our parents. And I think there's some great things that we're doing now. And our generation's way more accepting of things than there was in the past too, right? And we're a lot different, more advancements, right? That are positive advancements.
That
And it's cool to be in the middle of it because you get to see both sides, right?
and that's what reminds me too is things are pretty good. I know the
Yes.
pandemic sucks, but all things considered, hey, things are pretty good, guys. Like gay marriage is a thing.
Yeah.
Like racism is like it's still there, but
it's better.
it's getting better.
Yeah.
You're the minority, I would say, if you're racist or hate someone because of their skin color. You can identify as whatever you want, and I know there's different debates around that,
Yeah.
like compelled speech, but for the most part, you're free to do what you want and be the way you want, and things have gotten pretty good for everyone. There hasn't been a
Yeah.
fucking world war in 70 years. 70? Yeah, I know. It's,
Freaks me out, man. It
Yeah, I
freaks
know.
me
Right
out.
now it's not. 1945.
Damn.
So
That was
for
a
us.
lot.
who wants to do quick math?
Yeah.
I mean, it
Well, there
sucks
was
that
wars
there's
in
so
between,
many-
but they weren't like global.
There's
wars.
so many little
Just
wars.
just American inventions,
Yeah.
puppet governments,
Trying to
and
steal
communism.
resources, yeah.
Wouldn't that be great if we could get rid of those?
But that's my biggest fear though too is like like the
Your
new
biggest fear?
generations and even our generation. And I'm guilty of
Definitely.
it. I'm so
Yeah.
guilty of it, and I think that's where I can understand why people like for my grandparents, like obviously they're not living anymore, but they had an appreciation for
Long walk
sorry.
for a short
Sorry,
glass
sorry,
of water.
Sorry. I know it was bad. Wait,
It was
No, no,
poor.
explain
Yeah,
it.
that's,
It was a
sorry.
bad way to explain, but I think that's where I appreciate and value their appreciation and belief in faith. Where like I think faith is good in that sense, where it's like they don't take the things for granted because they are appreciative of what they have. And nowadays, like I know I'm guilty of being. I take so much for granted, man, and I
Yeah.
don't even realize it. Like, there's a guy who's like 35 years old, and he's explaining he's had cancer 4 times. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like 7 years younger than you, but I could have the same situations, and I've got nothing that's
And,
dealt
and
to
I
me.
should note that with things being
Yeah.
pretty good. Things are pretty good
Yeah.
here in Canada.
Yeah.
Whereas other places around
Like-
the world, they're not like.
That's
Yeah.
why I get pissed off about the stuff that happens when people complain. And it's like, go to a fucking Brazil and go to the favela where there's gangs and shit, and everyone, and Mexico with all the gangs.
Yeah, I know where Raul's going. Go for it, Raul.
Yeah, don't make me do this.
Do it, Raul.
I'm gonna make the same argument as I did on the last podcast. We had this debate.
No, I know, but
Just because things are better here doesn't mean they can't be better.
Yeah.
no,
That's
I
your
agree.
point. Did I nail it?
No,
Yes.
no, I
know.
I understand
I don't
that.
want to be saying
He's
that.
talking.
No,
You're talking
no.
about being appreciative.
I know,
Versus
yeah, I know, I
know.
versus
No, yes.
dropping people in favelas.
no,
Then figure out if you're
and I'm
gay.
guilty because I haven't. No, but
Because I know people that say that.
I know I'm guilty of it too. Like I should probably go experience it. It'll be like really. It'd be good. It'd be a really good experience for me because I
Yeah.
need to see what it's like.
Yeah.
You know.
It's
But, like,
you're
No.
saying about being
Yes,
appreciative. I get
yes.
it, Matthew.
No, I
we're
totally.
And
And
I
I don't want to
understand-
belittle. I
we're
don't
ragging
wanna
on you.
belittle.
I know.
And the other thing is, I understand that doesn't mean that things can't get better. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But
No,
like,
I know.
it's just that we have it so good, and we don't even know how good we
And
have
it was the pandemic was the perfect example of this, where people were like, "Oh, life's so hard. I have to quarantine for 14 days, and I can't even do that." People were booted off their land. People were Holocaust genocides.
Yeah.
Like people went through wars. You signed up and you died. Like, shut up because you have to watch Netflix for 14 days.
Yeah.
Like, it's about being appreciative, and I cannot agree
can even,
more.
Like I can say something like based on my work experience. Like I've gone to reservations,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, wow, like this is a different living condition for me, and I'm pretty lucky to be in a place that I have that
Yep.
I feel safe and secure, and there's not a lot of I don't see it. At least it's like a blind eye to me, like drugs going through and all that. I don't see it like that to me, right?
Yeah.
Man.
And that's where it's like I understand that point of view too, from what other people are saying. Like, this is not a great. I understand it, right? I'm just saying. I was trying
It's
to.
funny
say
how we say
appreciation.
like we can look at reserves, but you just look in Saskatoon itself.
yeah,
Yeah.
Certain areas
go-
that
yeah.
same thing.
Pleasant Hill,
Exactly.
my friends.
Same thing.
I wasn't gonna narrow it down, but St.
Pleasant Hill,
Paul's.
St. Paul's.
Like a 1 block radius.
But for
around
sure,
there.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, right? And you're like, oh man, like
We
I'm
have it
really
good.
lucky. Like, and you go to Friendship Inn, like it makes you more humble. Like you need to be more
yeah,
humble.
because you were born with the parents that you had, who raised you the way they did,
and you know what
worked hard to get where they were, to give you a better life. All those
and they shared their values.
You hit the fucking lottery.
Yeah.
You were born in Canada as a white guy with
Yeah.
a white person with a dick. Like you hit the fucking lottery.
Oh, dude, like
Woo!
that. Dude, I sometimes I say that. I'm like, I hit the lottery. Like this is I can't
Yeah.
ever complain about anything because I have a good life with people that love me. I'm surrounded by amazing people.
Yeah,
I'm in
exactly.
a safe environment, and like the worst case scenario, it's like even if I had a job at Walmart, I'd still have a job and I could get food on the table for myself. Like it could be anything, right?
Yeah.
Like it's I'm lucky. And
That's what we're saying.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
And I won't fight you on this one. You're right.
and that's the hard part.
No devil's advocate, but are you lucky? Think of the favelas.
The weight.
Yeah. But you know what I mean. Like
No,
it's like-
no.
I think being humble and appreciative is important, and I think some people get lost in that because there's so much complaining too. And I'm even guilty. I
Well,
complain about shit all
we're
the
sitting here bitching about people bitching.
Yeah.
I inceptioned you guys.
time. But I'm guilty of it too. Like I
Yeah.
complain about this, and then sometimes I like get a reality check. Like, dude, shut up. Like you got nothing. Like
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
going on.
No, you're right. You do have to do reality check, and you have to appreciate what you have. But I also have my tagline is if you stop complaining, life wins.
If you stop complaining, life wins.
Everyone has the right to complain, no matter how
Yeah.
small of a problem
Yeah.
it is. You have the right to complain.
You do.
Other people can tell you you're an idiot. They don't have to listen
It's
to
more.
you.
It's more for. I like
It's-
to think
it's
of
to
more for.
vent.
It's to vent or just talk.
It's
Yeah.
Right?
It
Because
could just be
people can relate to each other. Right?
Exactly.
It's like that's how you relate. That's
if you
how.
tell someone, "Oh, I hit a couple red lights in a construction and I'm late to work," Is it a big deal? No. But can
Yeah.
everyone around you go, oh, I get you,
Yeah.
man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing is too, like they'll use that as an excuse. Like you hit all those red lights and like, oh, I'm late to work because I hit those red lights. Like, no, if you left 5 or 10 minutes earlier,
Right.
that is on you because you could have left earlier.
Right.
That was your decision not to leave at that certain time, and you hit those things, right?
True.
So it's like you can use that. As
You
a
should
counter.
you should always be 5 to 10 minutes early to work. That's my personal mantra.
Yeah.
You should because you
Yeah.
should be planning for that.
But you know what
Like
the
you don't
issue-
have to start working immediately. You just fucking chill
I would
out for
say
5
that,
minutes.
Stefan, if
Yeah.
your leadership's doing that. If your leadership is not doing that, I'd say fuck that.
Yep.
Because your leadership should dictate how you do things.
Yep.
And
No.
if people are lax and say fuck that,
So Matt is my leadership.
shut up.
So
Ray.
Real never shows up on time.
But that's the thing. That's the truth though. Like if
Eats all the chips.
yeah.
I
but,
just threw Matt.
Has
under the
a
but that's why I try.
small-
Like if I am with
Small
someone,
whorehouse in the back of the truck.
if I am working with
Whoa.
someone,
We don't
I-
talk about what goes on up north.
if I am with someone, I can say what time are we working,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, I make
I'm
damn
just-
sure I'm there on time.
I'm just joking on you, man.
But it's truth. But like that's the thing, right? So
Can I throw something very different topic?
yeah,
Yeah.
well, we've traversed.
We bounce a lot.
We've
that's
traversed
fine. That's
a
what
bit.
a podcast.
It's similar on the topic, but what do you think the next big like culture fight is going to be over? Because I think we've kind of got the gay marriage sorted out.
I think we got that sorted.
Racism
Other than
we're
some,
working on.
Yeah, we're
What do you think
working
could
on
be
it.
the next big battle?
Rail. I don't even I don't even know if it's gonna be a culture fight.
You
I
d-
think there'll be a war.
Oh,
think
just
that's
straight
the
up war.
next
You never, you like, okay, I guess here's how you never know. So,
Yeah.
so people who wore, like, who said something in the past and then get shit on now, like, that's how much you never know, right?
Right.
You-
It's the million
You know what I
ideas
wonder?
thing.
I wonder what it could be.
It's a million ideas
Where
thing,
there's
yeah.
people complain about all sorts of different things, and then one guy was right, and
Yeah.
we're fighting for this now.
Yeah, it's gonna be like justice for grocery workers after this pandemic, and then how they've been shit on forever. Like I'm using that as an example, but like
Yeah.
you just don't know.
Do you, I wonder if something to do with the media might be next, like with
Maybe.
real news and just
yeah.
manipulation. I think that could be a real one because something is gonna get fucked up and something's gonna happen and people turn a blind eye or they didn't report it properly, and then it's like, okay, fuck you, like this has caused this because
That
of
you've
that.
caused damage because
Yeah.
you didn't
Yeah.
report it.
And then everyone's like, we want the truth, and we don't want lies anymore, and we don't want you like CNN or whatever. Like people say,
CNN,
CNN's left
Fox
wing,
News,
Fox News is right.
MSNBC.
It's like we don't give a shit. We want the
CBC.
we want the fucking truth, and we
Yeah.
want it now because like people are tired of it, and that's where.
But no one wants that center though.
No, I know.
No one wants it.
But
Like
I think that could eventually happen. Like I don't know if it's the next one, but something catastrophic is gonna happen where it's like, okay, time to fucking quit fucking around. Let's go all together and ban on this. Like that has to
Yeah.
happen. That's the only way it would happen.
yeah.
Yeah. I like CTV. I think it's pretty unbiased.
Yeah.
CBC's not, unfortunately. They used to be better, but I find reading their articles, it's like, I don't know, guys. Sounds like you're a little skewed here.
And that's a tough
But
one.
I think CTV is like pretty unbiased as far as news sources are in Canada. And then in the States, I don't know who your unbiased news is. I have no idea. Al Jazeera
Yeah.
is not the States. Al Jazeera for international news. Holy shit.
There's another one.
Where are they? They're the United Emirates? Is that where they are?
Yeah, somewhere weird.
Or Qatar?
Yeah.
They're somewhere like
But like they try to just accurate representation.
there's no slant.
There's one media place. I think they're more on the internet than they are on TV. It's got two people. They were on Joe Rogan's podcast. One was a female. One was that East Indian guy. They were both talking.
I
I'm
didn't
sorry. I'm
see
not
it.
doing
I was
the
gonna say,
justice.
is it Al Jazeera?
I apologize for using them, but like that's the only way I can identify him. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But they both tell the truth, and they do both sides. They're like, whoa, like this is what Fox News said, and then this is what CNN said, but here's the middle. Like this is the truth.
Yeah.
And then it's like you go fact based. Like they're all about facts. Like
Yeah.
they're all
Right.
about facts, right? And that's the truth. And they're trying to do a job like that, and people appreciate that, but it's not a large number.
Yeah.
That's the issue, right? So
A shitty thing with that is how they say that you can manipulate stats to give you any answer you want.
Yeah.
true.
So when you say I'm gonna give you a facts-based description of the news, and you can say okay, but let's look at the facts and look at the sources and look at the graph that they designed.
Which
is
you got
it an
which
accurate representation? Graph?
yeah, you want to go to like the most scientific sources you can. Like
Kind
when
of.
I look at global warming or climate change, I go to the NASA's. Like I went to NASA's website and I'm like, yeah, I see like it's a fact that ice caps are melting. Is it as catastrophic as Al Gore said? Probably not, but or you watch trends and you're like, yeah, the planet is heating up. Whether you disagree on the cause, it's still a thing that's happening from the science community. Peer-reviewed science papers.
Yeah.
That is like the only thing you can trust. Any zingers, any one-liners that go, so-and-so just killed the theory of relativity. No. Peer-reviewed papers, all scientists agree, or a bunch do, that it's gone through the ringer. For the most part, there are some that sneak through. What's his face? Brett Weinstein.
With his papers.
With his paper. Was it him? No, it wasn't him. It was that guy doing the fake papers.
But that was for feminism.
Yeah,
that was really
review it that hard.
I guess, what's the word? Social science things? No.
Yeah.
Environmental science.
Yeah.
Physics, biology. Those are the things you can trust as you go to the scientific source, not a news source.
But I also appreciate them at least citing the source, so then you can go check it yourself.
Yeah.
Which they do. They go, this is the source. You can go check it out for yourself.
Yep.
And then they give you the opportunity to go check it.
Yep.
And then they say more than usually one source. Like it's more like numerous sources, so it's at least backed up more.
Yeah.
You know, whereas CNN's like, we got breaking news from a source, and they don't say the source, and then it could be just what's the Cuomo, right? It could be Chris Cuomo. His brother told him something in New York.
Yeah.
And then it's not even really fact based. It's just like his brother thinks his opinion, and they go, yeah, breaking news in New York. This is, like, that's what they can do though.
I like it. Like you.
And
I know,
CNN's making the Cuomo governor look way better than he is. That
They
is
make
not
him
bad,
look like a fucking
but they make him look
god.
like the next president because they want a Democratic person.
I know,
and
which is
it's
bullshit.
an easy connection. Hey, Chris. Hey, how's it going? And they just talked. They just talked for 5 minutes.
One of my favorite things is Jordan Peterson doing like when he's doing interviews and people are like, what gives you the right to say that? And he's like, well, I'm a clinical psychologist. He's like, that's what I do. I've written papers on this peer review. He's like, this is my job. And they're like, how dare you say that? He's like, but I'm a scientist. This is what I do.
And that's why
I do a horrible Jordan Peterson impression. My little brother Michael, like spot on. Spot on. It's creepy. I know Christian would appreciate that more. I know he loves our buddy Jordan.
That's why I think it's so important to have someone like Joe Rogan who allows both sides to have a voice.
And no matter how much he's on DMT, he listens to both sides.
Yes. And the other thing is he
gets shit for listening to both
sides.
sides.
But he can challenge it, and he does challenge it from time to time. He's like, no, this is like, I'm pretty sure this is wrong.
Yeah, where you coming from?
He's like,
but he doesn't say you're an idiot. He goes,
no.
He's
He's
like,
like,
what I think.
He's
right?
like, did they prove that?
Yes.
Except with Steven Crowder the one time.
Yeah.
Oh man, he was just a total asshole to Crowder, and I'm like, what?
But
like,
you know what?
Crowder's an asshole, but like, what are you doing, Joe?
guess
He's
what,
like, you're a
though?
little bitch, Steven. It's like, Joe,
guess
you're
what?
usually so cool.
Joe has him back on though. So like, it gives
Yeah.
him their time
Yeah,
to go
yeah,
talk.
you're
It's
right,
like, hey,
you're
we
right.
had some disagreements and this. And
So
that.
we're just sucking Joe's dick now.
Yeah, but I think that's how important he is as a platform for people.
Yep.
And people need to listen to him because he has
right wing and left wing. He has
and
he has
it's not
Bernie
just
Sanders
politics.
on, and he has right. I don't know how far right wing he's had on.
Like anti-social justice.
He has.
people.
I know he has members of the House.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
like no one high profile. Like he hasn't
Well,
had
I'd
like
say-
Jeb Bush or Trump on, but
he's had
luck,
he's had a couple high ones. Like he's had what's his name there? He speaks his opinion. He's got a news show on YouTube.
I don't know.
He talks really fast and he's Jewish. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, that's a right wing guy.
Ben
And
Shapiro's
Tim
right wing.
Pool is more like right leaning. I think.
Tim Pool's
Yeah.
more right, and but he also has like
He's got
what's her
left
name?
values, though, too.
Gabrick. Like she was running for president.
for sure.
Really?
Yeah, and Bernie.
Yeah.
You get
But
the bounce.
it's not
part.
just political too.
So
like,
what we're saying is the only middle ground is Joe.
but he
So what
is
we're-
at the point. I'd say he is the most.
What we're saying is we should be invited on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Joe, if you're out there, can we
If
send
you're
this to him,
we have
Jason?
12 views.
Hashtag Joe Rogan.
I love DMT,
Hashtag Matt's on DMT.
jujitsu, hunting.
Hunting, definitely.
Now you're just making fun of him. Don't do
No, I actually like.
Have you ever done DMT?
I like 1 out of 3 of those.
Yeah, exactly. I like one of those.
Try and guess which one.
Yeah. Next time on the Entertaining Stupid podcast.
We'll figure out what
Yeah.
Stefan does.
Okay, we'll wrap it up.
We'll wrap it up. Everyone, thanks for listening. We appreciate you.
We meandered.
Did
And
we come
will-
to a conclusion? I don't think so.
We just want more middle ground,
We
and
just want
it
middle
kind
ground.
of
That's
spurred.
the end conclusion. Real was like, I don't know about that. I actually like the
What's
further
better, toast or bagels? Where's the middle ground?
ground. They're both
Toasted
carbohydrates.
bagels. That's it. We're done.
We're done.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Say bye, Real.
Bye.
Okay.
What the fuck?